Okay, Ray. Now we're going to start the second phase of your Part 3 test.
Okay.
The subject of which is going to be meeting traffic, giving adequate clearance, and also anticipation.
Right, alright.
Okay. I'll stick with my own name of Sean, just to make life a little bit easier for you.
Right.
I'll direct you around the route needs of the exercise and the abilities of the pupil.
Okay.
I just want to pass those directions back to me as you would do with the real pupil.
Right.
You can assume that I've got a test coming up in about 3 weeks' time.
Right, okay.
My other instructor has been taken ill and isn't going to be available now to see me until after I've passed my test.
Right.
Or taken my test in any
Right.
case. So you're looking after me from today for the next 3 weeks.
Right.
Okay?
Got it.
And my other instructor said he thinks he needs to do some work brushing up on dealing with meeting, giving adequate clearance, and also anticipation.
Right.
Okay?
Yes.
Have you any questions before I go into roll?
No, I don't think so. No, fine.
We'd just like to take a few minutes to sort out any bits and pieces that you need. Then whenever you're ready, just say and I'll go into roll for you.
Right, fine. Alright then, Sean. What we're going to work on today is meeting traffic, adequate clearance and anticipation of other road users. Yes?
That's my other instructor said last week, yeah.
Alright. Now, let's just think about the anticipation. Why is it important for the driver to anticipate what's going on in the road?
Was it something about not being taken by surprise or something like that?
That's right, you've got to be able to plan ahead of what's going on and work things out. The earlier you can work things out of what's going to happen down the road, the earlier you can do something about it.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you think we mean by leaving adequate clearance? For example, we've got a silver car parked up down the road there.
Yeah.
If you were going to go past that silver car along this narrow road that we're on at the moment, how much room would you be looking to give it?
It's about an open door's width.
Ideally, if you couldn't give it that sort of room though, what might you do then? Because it is quite a narrow road, this as well.
Does it depend on what's coming towards me?
Well, I would say less space, less speed.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because
Yeah.
you still might be able to go through even though you couldn't give it a door's width. So we'll have a look at that later on.
Okay.
In terms of meeting traffic, if you have a vehicle parked up on your side of the road, for example, and again on this narrow road that we're on at the moment, we've got a vehicle parked up perhaps in front of us, as we have there, and a vehicle coming towards us. How would you go about dealing with that?
Well, it depends how far away from that parked car he would be.
Okay.
I might just try and keep going, try and get through the gap before he does.
Well, all right, let me rephrase my question. What procedure would you put into place as you approach that vehicle first?
Is that mirror signal manoeuvre?
That's it. Now, the obstruction's on your side, so what are you prepared to do if you have to? And he's come towards you, the obstruction's on your side of the road.
Should I be looking to slow down?
Yeah, and possibly even prepared to stop.
Oh, okay.
But you're quite right, we need to be looking down the road and then assessing then what's going on, and then we'll take the appropriate action at that moment in time.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
All right, sounds like you've got an idea of what it's about. I think the best thing for us to do then is to start the vehicle up, carry out your safety checks, we'll start the vehicle up, and we'll go and work at it.
Okay.
That's very good. Just check your mirrors, Sean. Move away from this parked car, will you? Take it well away. Remember what we're saying about making sure we give it plenty of room?
Yeah.
Plenty of clearance. We've got to take it away from the vehicle early as well.
Oh, right.
How are you going to deal with this bend? What might come towards you?
It could be a car or a cyclist or anything,
yes.
isn't it?
Yeah. So again, remember what we said, but just check your mirrors now. Move away from the parked vehicle early. That's better. That's how I want it.
Right.
Yeah, see how much earlier we took that away compared to the first time that you did that?
Is that in case somebody opens the door? Or
That's it. That's it. Yes. Yeah, I mean, looking at what might this lad here do?
might step out in the road?
He might. Yeah, that's good. Good mirror check as well there, Sean. What are you prepared to do for him now?
Well, I can't run him over,
No,
can
slip
I?
into first. Give him more time to get out your way. That's it.
End of the road, turning right.
At the end of the road, we're going to be turning right. Well, you can also see that we've got some white vans parked up there. Are they going to drive away at all?
I can't see anybody behind the wheel.
Right, oh, that's good. That's good. So we know it's going to stay where it is then. As you can see, once you get to this point, it's hard to see into it.
And at the end of this road, turning left.
End of this road, we're going to be turning left. What would you be aware of now? What might come towards you?
I car could turn into this,
couldn't it? Yeah, and there's not a great deal of room there. And this is why we have to anticipate things happening. So we're planning ahead. How are you going to deal with this red car?
Well, she's turning in there,
that's
so
good.
I was going away from her, wasn't I?
That's fine.
Taking the next road on the left.
We're going to take the next road on the left.
Taking the next road on the left.
We're going to take the next road on the left. I want you to remember that you came in a little bit earlier there, Sean. I'll talk about that in a moment once you got round the corner.
Okay.
I'm going to park vehicle there before you bring it back towards the curb, because you were well away from it, but you came in a little bit too soon.
Oh.
How would you know that you've gone well past the vehicle before you bring it back towards the curb?
Is that checking in that mirror?
That's it. So we need to make sure we can see that vehicle before we bring it back.
Oh, okay.
What would be the danger of bringing it in a little bit too soon?
You might move off.
You might move off, yes you could, or you could still just clip it anyway. Yes, so you need to make sure you've gone well past it. Now again,
Taking the next road on the left.
we're going to take the next road on the left. How are you going to deal with the pedestrian in the road there, the guy in the t-shirt?
Just slow down a bit.
That's it. That's all we need to do. We're anticipating that he might have stayed where he was. Now again, you can see it's quite a narrow road, Sean. So if anyone comes towards you, what are you prepared to do?
Oh God, I suppose we'll have to stop. We can't both go, can we?
That's right. We've certainly got to be prepared to slow down and, as you say, stop if need be. At the moment, of course, there isn't anyone coming.
The road just goes round to the right.
And we're just going to follow the road round to the right. Be aware as well when you come around tight bends, Sean, that once you've looked into it and you know there's nothing coming towards you, if you have to, you could be a little bit further away from the parked cars.
Oh, right.
Yes, because of the turn of the vehicle, if you're not careful, you can get too close to it. So take yourself away a little bit more once you have looked into the road and make sure it's clear.
Okay. End of this road, turning left.
At the end of this road, we're going to be turning left. That's much better than being away from the parked vehicle. Very good. Well done.
End of the road, turning left.
End of this road, we're going to be turning left, so make sure you've gone past this vehicle before you bring it back over. That's better. That's better.
Okay, I've got that.
Got that now? Yes? Okay. See him indicating that what was the problem with his signal there then? What could you have thought he was going to do?
Well, he could have turned down here.
Right. It's unlikely with it being such a big large vehicle bringing it down there, but we had to be aware of that. That's good. What else might he do now?
We just actually just pulled away.
Pulled away, hasn't he? Yeah. So he's not going to be there long. He's only got one or two people getting on and off the bus. Just check your mirrors, Sean. Just brake a little bit. We'll just back off. What sort of gap do we need to leave between ourselves and the vehicle in front?
Well, enough for him to stop in, isn't it?
That's right. I'll just let you concentrate on what the bus is doing now, because he might not be able to get in at the bus stop. Why might he not have got into the bus stop?
It's a bendy bus.
Yes, bendy bus needs a lot more room. Very good. So in terms of time as well, Sean, with the vehicle in front, how far back away from it should you be?
Well, something to be seconds, isn't it?
That's it, the 2 second gap. How would we work that out? Well done. Anticipating again that he wasn't going to get out of your way. There's no need to do that little swerve. What was the best thing to do, really?
Slow down a bit.
That's it. Yeah, rather than doing that little swerve that you went to do.
So,
Okay. Again, looking well down the road, we've got some lights coming up. What sort of lights are they?
looks like a pedestrian crossing.
Is anyone near them?
No.
No. Why do you think I asked you that?
If someone was, they might have changed to red.
That's it. How much are we going to give this cyclist?
He's in a cycle lane, so you should have enough room there, shouldn't you?
Could do, yeah. What else might that cyclist do, though?
Well, he could wobble, couldn't he?
Very good. So we've got to make sure that we're well away from that cycle lane as well. Alright, Sean, so you seem to have got the idea of this clearance now. I'm just going to sit back and let you drive now by yourself.
Okay.
Correct any other faults that you may or may not make. Right, so I'm just going to sit back and watch you now.
go to that cycle lane to avoid going over that plastic bag.
Yeah, you could do. You didn't cause anyone a problem by going into it. If that had been a solid white line there, Sean, would you have driven in it then?
Well, with that bag there, we say, I can't go in there unless it's an emergency, can I?
That's right.
But if I didn't know what was in that bag...
Right, that's very good. That's very good. Because it wasn't blowing about very much, was it? So there could have been something inside there.
That's right. I know that happened with Dad once, there was a load of nails in it.
Oh, right. Well, so you've learned from experience with that then, that's good. You've got the crossing coming up. What would you be prepared to be looking out for there?
Pedestrians waiting to cross.
Right. Do you know why they've put a different surface on the road here as well, Sean?
Is that to help in case you go into a skid?
That's right, yeah, because people are approaching the crossing a little bit too quickly. They're not anticipating that people could have stepped out.
Right.
What's the sign telling you there, Sean?
School patrol.
Alright, why do you think it's telling you about that?
Well, I think the lollipop people come out here.
Very good. Not much of a problem at this time of the day, perhaps, but the sign is there for a reason.
Yeah.
And it's there to help make you read the road. So looking at road signs helps you to be able to anticipate what may happen.
Yeah. Okay.
What might he do?
Should have crossed in front of my path.
He could have done, or he might have been signalling to do what with the vehicle that was in front of him.
Overtake?
He could have been, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, we just have to be aware of things like that.
Got her stuck there, she's pressed the button.
Very good, you're aware of it, you were checking the mirrors on the approach. I felt that you dealt well with it, that's why I just sat back and let you deal with it.
Oh, right.
Yes, I could see that you had got some eye contact with her. And I've seen you checking the mirrors so that you're prepared to stop if you had to.
Well, he's going to do a lot of room, isn't he?
That's right, yes. It's worth remembering that, you know, HGVs do need a lot of room going around the corner, isn't it? If you'd have been behind him or maybe going round a roundabout, what would you have done then if he was in front of you?
Held back a bit.
That's it. That's it. That's all you need to do, that's very good. Good, Sean.
I haven't seen her. I've seen the car trying to come out of the junction, but I haven't seen her.
You haven't seen her. So, if we were approaching the crossing again, where would you be looking more perhaps to enable you to see? Because visibility was quite good, really.
Well, I saw him rather than her.
Right. But as you got a little bit closer, you did become aware of it, yes?
Yeah. I did. I saw eventually.
Right. But again, you know, if you can't see, say for example, the parked cars on the right-hand side as you approach the crossing, what would be a good idea?
Slow down a bit.
That's it. Yeah. If your view's impaired by vehicles on the approach to the crossing, what do you think that one's looking to do?
I'm not so sure whether it's looking to turn left, turn right, or...
Right. So what's the best thing to do?
Just hold back a bit.
That's it. That's it. So that if it does suddenly stop, it looks like maybe they're not too sure where they're going. There he goes.
He wasn't too sure where
he wasn't,
was
was he? Which is why we held back a little bit so that we were giving him plenty of room to do whatever it was he was going to do. We had time to stop if we had to.
Right.
Looking down the road, we've got the kid there. What might the kid go and do?
Run into the road.
Right. So again, just be prepared to slow it down. Because Mum's not really watching the kid there.
No, no.
So we better do it for her. Again, with this anticipation, I think, you know, we've talked about clearance a bit there. You're doing well with that. We've talked a lot about anticipation now. Again, I'm just going to sit back and see what you do with anticipation.
Okay. I'm not worried about that now because it's going to green.
Very good. Just a bit more mirror on the approach there.
Taking the next road on the right.
We want to take the next road on the right.
Pinch a bit of space here because you're allowed to
go in there, can't you?
Well, this van doesn't come past. He seems to have plenty of room.
No, he's right to wait there. We'll come back to that in a moment, Sean. You concentrate on when you turn for a moment. Why do you think he didn't pass you? Because you were well into the space, weren't you?
I don't know.
Okay, we'll come back to it in a moment. Just see what this van's doing here. Because you could have been coming our way then. I want you to remember though that junction back there, Sean, and when it's said to do so, we'll just have a bit of a chat about it.
Do you want to pull in somewhere to do that?
Well, if you look in here, well, at the moment we've got the yellow line. What's that telling you?
I can't stop there.
That's right. So if we can see a convenient place to pull in, then we will. But I'll let you concentrate on this for a moment. Now remember, if you can't see his mirrors, what can't he do?
He can't see me.
That's it. That's why it's so important to stay back. By doing that, it's also helping you to see past him, isn't it?
Right. End of the road, turning right.
At the end of the road, we'll turn right. And if we're able to do so, then we'll pull in somewhere. Just while we have a chat about what happened back there before we forget.
Okay, yeah, we'll do that.
That's good. So I've left tyres and tarmac so that if he did roll or you rolled, you've got plenty of time to do something about it. Somewhere to have a quick chat and park up somewhere. If not, because we'll come towards the end of the lesson. If not, then we'll talk about it towards the end.
Okay.
Right. Well, I haven't forgotten, I promise.
Nobody's saying there's lots of parked cars along, even at the bus stop, so I can't really pull in somewhere, can I really?
No. So if we can, is there space after this vehicle, perhaps? Ah, yes, we can get in here. Alright then, Sean, I just wanted a quick word really about what happened with the van when you said you didn't understand why he didn't pass you.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah?
I thought you had enough room to go through the gap.
Right, okay. Fortunately, where we've even stopped, we've got some hatch markings here.
Yeah.
What's the purpose of the hatched markings?
It's to separate the two flows of traffic, isn't it?
Right, and it's also protecting you.
Well, I'm turning right.
Well, you're turning right, that's it. And you got yourself nicely into the space for turning right.
Mm-hmm.
But there was also a vehicle parked up on our left-hand side, if you can remember.
Yes.
Yes?
There was a few of them, wasn't there?
There was. So you've got yourself into the space.
Yeah.
So you couldn't have gone any further over.
No, I couldn't.
All right. So you're nicely in there. But think back to those parked vehicles and the size of the vehicle that was initially trying to come past you.
So there wasn't enough room for him to go through.
That's right. They might have been for a bike or a smaller car, maybe something like the Yaris there, that smaller car.
Yeah.
But he was in a transit van. It just wasn't enough room because he's also got to give the vehicle that was parked up how much room?
Well, ideally a door's width, isn't
That's
it?
right, and he's got to give you how much room?
The same.
That's it. So there wasn't really enough room for him to
Right.
go through at that moment in time. I really would have liked to have spoke about it while we were driving about there, but there was such a lot of activity going on.
Yeah.
I didn't want to leave it either. You seemed a little bit confused, and that's why I just pulled us over for a moment.
Well, I was
to
more
chat.
concerned about that red car that was waiting to turn right because he was out over the centre line and he seemed to be judging forward.
Right, so what did you do about that?
I just looked at him.
That's right, you got the eye contact with him and you waited, and when it was safe for you to cross the path of the oncoming traffic, then that's when you then went.
Okay.
So I felt that you dealt with that very well.
Oh, good.
I think at the moment, how do you feel that you're driving at the moment? We were talking before about adequate clearance and anticipation, and we've not had as much meeting traffic as I thought that we might have got, but how do you feel that you've driven so far?
Well, I think I'm getting better than I was at the beginning.
Right, well I think you're driving quite well. So I think we're going to do some more.
Okay.
And see what we do now, okay?
Right.
Right, so when you're ready then, Sean, we'll drive on.
Okay. We've got a traffic light behind.
Oh, that's good. You're aware that that's the important thing.
The problem is I'm having to look in that mirror a bit more because that parked car behind is sort of blocking me view a bit.
Right. You tell me then when well, I'll just sit back and watch you emerge, Sean, because you've done well with that so far. That's good, you judged the gap well.
Taking the next road on the left.
We're going to take the next road on the left. Look into it a bit more, Sean. Why is it important to look into the road?
Oh, it's been illustrated said early vision, early decision.
Oh, that sounds good. Yeah, you did well to remember that.
I don't know where that came from, actually.
Right, you've done well to remember that. So again, we've got a parked vehicle here, blue one. Is there enough room for you and someone else to go through if he does come?
If it's a normal sized car, yeah.
Yes, that's good.
Anything bigger than that, I might be struggling.
Right, that's good. So even though we've not had too much, that's good. You've dealt well with that, Sean. Plenty of room. You made the progress that you were able to do. That was very good.
At the end of the road, turning left and then turning right at the traffic lights.
At the end of this road, we're going to be turning left and then turning right at the traffic lights.
The lights have just changed down the road.
Well, there is a lot of traffic coming towards you now, isn't there?
Because I wouldn't try and get out there with that lot coming towards you. They're going a lot faster, aren't they?
That's good. That's good. Because you have got to, if we're going to turn right, which lane were you going to need?
The right-hand lane.
That's it. So we've got quite a distance to go, and it is fast-flowing traffic. So we do need to be prepared to wait, as you are doing. Wipe.
That little car's slowing down so I can go out in front.
That's
of the
good.
car.
Even though he's signalling, he is slowing down. We can tell he's not coming at us with the same sort of momentum. He was well back, and even if he hadn't been signalling, he was so far back that we still could have gone. So we weren't going just because he signalled.
Right, okay, got that. That was a good choice then, that I made.
It was. Yes, it was. What might the lights do, Sean?
Might change to red.
Very good anticipation. How did you know that they might change?
There was a filter and they're never on for long.
That's right. We could go into neutral as well. Why could we do that?
Rest my leg.
That's it, yes. And the lights have just changed for ourselves. Who would be the next group of traffic to move away?
I think it's them. Well, it should be them over there, shouldn't it?
That's it. So I think after they've gone, that will be a good time to go back into first. Once they start to move away. But again, that's anticipation of the traffic. And give it, as you say, it's giving your leg a rest.
Yeah. More for having leg rest.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Especially being driving for quite some distance, some time.
Yeah.
Then it is important to rest. If you watch the traffic flow and maybe see the lights sometimes, I would go
I
into
think it's
first.
just got to
That's it. Good.
The mini roundabout following the road round to the right, a third exit.
At the mini roundabout, we're going to be following the road round to the right, the third exit.
Wasn't too sure if he was going to stop with me then.
How did you work out in the end that he did? I was watching you, so how did you work out that he was going to stay there in the end?
I just watched his wheels started to slow right down.
They did, and you could actually see the front of his car just dip a little bit as well.
Yeah.
Yes?
Taking the next road on the right.
Okay, going to take the next road on the right.
Sure she was going to go then or not.
That's why. What did you do with the gears?
Went down to first gear.
You did, because you weren't sure. What wasn't she doing really?
Well, she wasn't telling me where she was going.
No, and no, was she looking, getting any eye contact with you at one point. But again, as I say, I sat back, I watched you. I feel that you got the idea of it, Sean. With this anticipation.
Then finding someone to pull on the left-hand side of the road.
And then if you can pull in somewhere where it's convenient, maybe just before the road on the left. Okay, Sean.
Switch off?
Yes, please. Yeah, we'll just have a bit of a chat about the lesson. We didn't get as much meeting traffic there as I would have liked, but if we look down the road here again now, we've got this black van parked up on the Discovery.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a vehicle coming towards you, just come maybe around that corner there, and you're about where you are now, how might you go and deal with it?
Well, I'll probably stop just this side of the junction.
Right. Why would you stop there?
Well, I don't know if he's going to go straight ahead or he might want to turn right into that road.
Very good. And so I just wanted a little bit of a chat about meeting some traffic a bit more, because we didn't meet too much there. And what bit we did meet, then I felt that you dealt well with that.
Right.
All right.
So do you think I need to do much more work before I take the test?
Well, I was going to ask you, really, how do you think that the lesson has gone? I've enjoyed the lesson, by the way.
I've enjoyed it.
Yes?
I think I'm better now than I was at the beginning.
Well, that's good.
But do you think I will pass my test in 3 weeks?
Well, I think that, if you take on board what we've worked on today, and if you can continue to make the progress that you have made during that lesson, I think you could do well on your test, yes.
Okay, break off there.
All right.
That concludes the end of your part. Well, that's the end of your part 3 test.
Right.
If you just want to give me about 10 or 15 minutes, I'll go inside, make a few notes, and I'll come back out and see you and give you a result.
All right, thanks very much.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks.